You should be able to tell from the context clues in this video, this mural of a frog, this is a happy video. But I want to demonstrate real quickly how all joy lives in my house, if I had one. I'm going to tell you a story about my brother and my mother, is experience that my brother told me. This is why they're probably never going to do this or show you, and this is why all the joy is in my house. But this is the story, okay? I wanted to do a video about something I hate. The other engine of this family, it's not a person, it's literally the other engine of this family. It's a 1998 Chevrolet Suburban LT. I can't stand this thing. It's just something about, fun fact about me and this family, I don't like the Suburban. It would be a good video, but I want to do that video with a green screen, not of a frog behind me, but I wanted a picture of the actual engine of this family, the Chevrolet Suburban LT that I took back about 5 years ago. Anyway, but let me tell you a story about the Suburban. It's a good one. So this was like when my mom wasn't traveling around the world in the 2010s. One thing she also did was she hiked Appalachian Trail, and she accomplished her goal. Part of it, I know, didn't know the full story, but I know that she had a blog. It's called Nightingale, was her Appalachian Trail name, and she was on, like with this frog, she was on a trail. And my brother told me the story because he was like, it was either the Blazer or the Chevrolet Suburban LT that I don't like. And the story goes, he was like, Nathan, it was the weirdest thing. He was like, I came home from Greensboro or whatever, and mom was ready to go on the trail, and Steve didn't want to take her, so they got in either the Blazer or the Suburban. Drew will know which one it is. And they got in a car and they just went. And he said, Nathan, it was the weirdest thing. We just drove, we got to Georgia from Winston-Salem. We just drove and drove and drove. And then we just we were out in the woods on a gravel road and just gets more and more woodsy and stuff. And all of a sudden, it was a turnoff. And then mom popped out and it was like evening to dusk. And she just was like off on the trail. And then he was like, then I drove back to Winston-Salem by myself. But it was the weirdest thing, leaving your mom in the woods. And that's just something more wild, more wonderful about my mother. But if I wasn't homeless, see, I gotta get up and hit this. It's the longest street in America right there. There's opportunity for me to go back to work. I've got to go back and hit that straight hard on all the jobs I've already applied for online and follow up on offline component, the real person in me. And I've already trimmed up that beard for my last video, which I did a few hours ago. But I want to tell you that story because it's really funny. That my brother was like in his 20s and he's just driving mom out into the woods, and he was like, well, she's really on the trail, so she just disappeared into the woods and it was dusk and he just drove back to civilization. And that was my mom in the 2010s. That was just a funny, good, positive story. And she survived that. She went on around the world more times after that. But true enough, funny story. I would love to do more of a complete story on the Chevrolet Suburban. This thing was in my mom's family, and then it became in my dad's family. I hate this thing, and I want to tell you that story, but I want to do it the way I want to do it. So if I wasn't homeless tomorrow, I would go find out how to do that on a green screen on my phone right now. I would.